Welcome everyone. Got new stream graphics. New branding, updated the branding a little bit. Excuse me. New fonts applied. Got a little pattern moving in there. Got it on the watermark as well, you'll see it. So today we're gonna be discussing Final Fantasy Tactics. This will not be we'll have a day one stream. This is a stream before the day one stream. I don't have the remaster on hand at all right now. We're just gonna be talking about it and discussing everything. Discussing all the research I've done so far, which has been quite a bit. Here, we can go ahead and get to that here. As I was here waiting. We're running on real hardware here. Shout out to Retro Tank here. We'll be discussing my notes and everything. What I have so far to talk about with it and my research and how it's going. Most of what that research is around War of the Lions and the original game on PS1. The more I hear of balance regarding the remaster, it seems there may be more there to dive into than at the current moment I will be ready for. Before the day one stream, though, maybe I'll have a good handle on it to explain it, but for right now, let me just get a copy of this stream here. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So then, yeah, what we're mainly going to be talking about and discussing to begin with is going to be for, PS1 and War of the Lions. And also during this stream, I am going to be talking about, a lot of TGS news and everything that's been going on. There was a lot of TGS news out of a bunch of publishers today over in Tokyo, and we'll be talking about all of that throughout, but for now I have quite a few things to go over with Final Fantasy Tactics. Just let me do one more thing here and tweet this out. The right link, right?
This isn't just a...
Yes, that's an ad. Okay. Thoughts on Trails in the Sky remake? I have not had a time, unfortunately. As I mean, the stress of everything going on is one thing. I was talking about it. I've made the decision to pivot towards beelining to doing a tactics video. So tactics has been my focus. No, I don't have a copy already. This is PS1 version we're playing. Sorry. I realized I didn't know it, but I realized the embargo was up today, but I don't have it. On day one, we will have it. On day one, there will be a tactics stream that will actually have it. For now, I've got plenty to talk about regarding PS1 and War of the Lions, and get some perspective as we go into the new version later in the week. But for now, let me see here. Let me pull up my notes. Here they are. Yeah, so I'm gonna play like an hour or so at the beginning of the game. I have high hopes for it. Yeah, I think it'll do fine. Talking about, I think our goal here is to get some perspective going into the remaster when it is out. Let's see here. Saw this intro, and this intro is in the new version. They do have a classic mode option and the original, a new option and a classic mode option. It seems in I saw in the remastered one they do AI upscaling on that opening. It looks a little bit odd. There's artifacting in text. But anyway. This is a big deal, very highly sought after game. I am glad that I have put more time into Tactics now, but I'm very glad I played Tactics Ogre first, and then came to this game. Hey, Saturn, thank you for the $4.99. Man, job. Oh, awesome. That's great to hear. That's really damn good to hear, because as shit's not easy out there right now, you know? Pardon my language. It's not easy out there, so I'm very happy for you. It's great to hear. For a lot of people, this would be one of their greatest games, and I can see why, especially after I was playing Tactics Ogre and going to this. I'm glad I did, because they have such a already a pretty good handle on what they're doing, but at the same time, there's interesting depth to Tactics Ogre, but this game has still been has its challenge. I would immediately say, of course, if anyone wanted a Tactics Ogre, a Final Fantasy Tactics with more mechanics to it, they should look at Tactics Ogre. Heavily recommend. If that's what you're interested in. Yeah. But for Final Fantasy Tactics itself, let's see. English version, we lost 4 visual novel, or rather sound novel minigames. That's how I have it written out here. So this is between PS1 Japanese and PS1 English. There's quite a few differences. We lost the visual novel or sound novel minigames. For the video, I'm gonna have gameplay of it in English because of the there is a ROM hack for it that has them all translated. I believe it's Final Fantasy Tactics Prime, a very interesting ROM hack that has many of the rebalances of the Western version of Tactics PS1 reverted to the Japanese balance, and also it has War of the Lions script in it. So that's an interesting way to play it. Let's see. Ramza. I always do my own birthday. I turn it up a bit now. Sound test was retained. There was a music test in the Japanese version. You had to name Ramza a specific thing, and it would pop up it pops up the music test. The English version in PS1 is easier than the Japanese PS1 version. JP costs for some abilities were decreased. Some abilities charge faster for summons. Some time age abilities, Oracle Mystics, Petrify or Induration, and prerequisite job level requirements for some jobs were lowered. There's a few other things we'll go over, but immediately this script is reminding me what I would like to do, and what I think I should do in videos is... So this is one of those games where when they, in the PSP version of it, they retranslated a lot of the terms and everything. So like every ability name, every character name has some slight difference to it. And it makes it hard to communicate whether you've played the original or played PSP or played War of the Lions. So I think my approach for what the video would like to do, if I have the time for it, is when I'm saying it, I'm gonna say the War of the Lions term for it, but have something like in the corner of the screen that will be for the that will have the PS1 name for it, just as like a footnote whenever it's relevant. Birthday aspect is very important. It dictates a number of zodiac factors that affect gameplay and stats for Ramza. Do you have anywhere I could... Well, okay, anywhere I could read about that, but does that change it all for PSP? I'm pretty sure it doesn't, because I would have read about it by now. Call it easier, I call it proper balance. Seem unnecessarily expensive. That's a fair take. The subtitles up like that. I mean, I don't have... I feel for the sake of anyone who's coming in from the PS1, I think it's kind of necessary. Especially when one of the purposes of the video is to bridge communication and perspective of people who were fond of the original. Like, if you come into the comments and you discuss what you liked about the original and you're using terms from the original, people that play War of the Lions or are going to play the new version don't know what you're saying. So for perspective's sake, I think it should be worth the effort. Though it does get to a point where, like, with when I was doing it for Dragon Quest, and by the time I was done, I was a bit overwhelmed and burnt out. I think for Dragon Quest, where it would have been more relevant. Yeah, Dragon Quest had a lot. But Dragon Quest also had more than like 3 versions, changing terms constantly, so... At the very least here, I don't think the Ivalice Chronicles is going to change any more further. Oh, jeez, I got a email about Go to Bedcast I thought was for my own YouTube. Okay, sorry, that scared me for a sec. Loading problems and sounds really messed up. I definitely hear the sound. No, it didn't get a strike, it just got muted in a country. Because I was just streaming the State of Play. The State of Play VOD was muted in some country. This side quest to get cloud later. That's something I gotta talk about and also discuss and make sure I have clear on it. I have all my notes here. So we'll talk about Cloud in a minute, actually, because I have to make sure that I have correct on the info I have. So back on differences between English and Japanese, some playable characters had their stats buffed, including Ramza, Delita, Olin/Orin, and Cloud, while some bosses had theirs nerfed, like Velius or Bellis, Kulane, and Ygraph in Chapter 1. Those ones I've already looked at, though in some cases it has to do with damage. Like, I saw, like, for example, Cloud's cross-slash does more damage in the English version. So I'm gonna have to, like, physically show that. In other ways, the stat differences don't look too major without showing some specific example. In War of the Lions. I've already filmed and taken care of some of the War of the Lions footage I need for the video. Yeah, the sound quality is pretty low and sounds kind of off on PSP. And then loading, I don't know, because maybe on on the Vita TV, the loading issues aren't coming through. I don't really have any loading issues with it. But sound, yeah, there's definitely lower sound quality. And then it's even frustrating in the Android iOS version. That mobile version. I already take a look at it. I don't think I have anything recorded for that, but I was kind of disappointed when I did start taking a look at the Android version. I'm gonna turn this back up a smidge. So all those stat adjustments, some bosses lost the safeguard ability, which prevented you from stealing their equipment. Notably, this meant you could steal Elmdor's Masamune and Genji equipment. So you can in the English version steal that shit, but you can't in the others. In that ROM hack, Final Fantasy Tactics Prime, that ROM hack does let you still steal, even though everything else is still the Japanese stats. The ROM hack still has the option to let you steal that equipment. And I've been through that battle too. I could see why you would favor stealing it. I like how often I don't see this first battle take place the same way. Dialogue text is displayed faster, all except for the opening chapter moments. There's a localization thing where characters have special quotes when you select them on, like, the roster select screen or on the status screen, but the English localization doesn't have that for generic units. They do that for generic units, and that's on PS1. On PSP, they do give them descriptions. There's some bugs in the PS1 version. We're gonna be taking a look at least one of them. Yeah, we'll be taking I have footage of more than one, but we'll be taking a look at the JP scroll glitch when we can today. Also, the oil status is bugged in PS1 Tactics. It's supposed to, if you have oil on you, you're supposed to take more fire damage, and that is not the case. It doesn't work like it's supposed to on PS1, in that it doesn't work at all. Let's get in there. You can't lose this first battle, so let's take one turn to hide and you'll be fine. Own every Final Fantasy physical release on Switch. Oh yeah, Crystal Chronicles is not in English. That even has an import. I hadn't thought of that. Let's see. So as I'm going through here, War of the Lions, so now we're talking about the PSP one. Everything I talked prior was mostly PS1 Japanese to English. Now for War of the Lions. War of the Lions added Onion Knight and Dark Knight. More like bonus jobs. They're not completely necessary to get. You can see our buddy here right now is a Dark Knight. That in War of the Lions, he's changed to a Fell Knight. Since Dark Knight becomes its own separate job. Oh man, they got a lot done while I was yapping. Damn, they got a lot done while I was yapping. Well, good luck to everyone else that has to, yeah, I just made this fight take a lot longer by blocking. Oh well. Let's see. We got those jobs. There's PvP and PvE multiplayer modes, but they're local ad hoc only. People did use X-Link Kai to play the War of the Lions multiplayer. There's new equipment as well tied to that. The mobile versions after PSP don't have the multiplayer features, but you can still get the equipment from them at endgame from the Poacher's Den, from a Poacher's Den. There's multiple FMVs all throughout the main story. And in Japanese, they only have subtitles, but they are voiced in the English version of War of the Lions. Maybe another important thing to, especially going to be important going into the Ivalice Chronicles, is that War of the Lions was made with hardly, if any, of the original staff of Final Fantasy Tactics. And to the Ivalice Chronicles has significantly more of the original staff on board. And to my understanding, I have to read more on what the director and Yoshida spoke on some of it too. But Ivalice Chronicles is rebuilt from scratch. Is, you know, big surprise, they lost source code, right? So everything is redone from scratch, and some War of the Lions content, more of it is left out. It's not that it was removed, but in the perspective of framing it in that they're recreating it from scratch, they opted to keep the scope to the original game, which is the one that they made themselves, since War of the Lions was more or less a different team. So that's why a number of War of the Lions things aren't going to be there. Like, War of the Lions adds, with other playable characters and scenes and battles, new sub-stories, what I'm looking for. Balthier from 12 and Lusk from Tactics A2 were added in War of the Lions as playable units. And who the hell's left? Oh. And they are not in the Ivalice Chronicles. They were saying they showed up in War of the Lions because they were more like promotional as to why they were there. But because it was not like promotion to do anymore, they opted to, again, they opted not to cut them, but they opted to not recreate them along with everything else. How long are you playing tonight? I'm going to be doing this for like an hour, and then we're going to be doing the sponsored game for like an hour. You know what's, yeah, it's crazy. Like, a lot of people, if they do know that Square Enix lost source code, they only know it for like one game. And then it's like, no, actually they lost the source code to Final Fantasy Tactics, Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, Kingdom Hearts 1, Final Fantasy X, all lost. All their modern ports based on, in 7's case, I guess, fan re-engineering, but reverse engineering. Whether it's I mean, in every case, I'm pretty sure it's like outsourced. This would be the one case where it's not necessarily outsourced reverse engineering. So. And probably older titles too, as it's like, I don't remember if we had the solid confirmation of it, but they did seek like Nintendo's help when it came to preserving, getting Trials of Mana going, like the SNES version, Super Famicom version, and handling that. They've made it sound like Nintendo has anything like Super Famicom, at least age-wise, masters on hand. But I mean, yeah, it's a really common thing, and for some cases it kind of sucks to see, like with the upscaling the FMVs. So far, everything like in the trailers they showed looked fine, though. Do I have anything else here? Let's see. Multiple new battles, mostly in Chapter 4, I see. Story scenes as well. I think for the full video, each new scene or battle is pretty much documented. I think I could go over them if I need to. Or at least, I would like to offer... What I would like to do, and what I think would be at least useful, is if I do that approach, is present, like... This scene was added in War of the Lions, and it... like, a little spark note about what it did. I don't know if that's totally necessary, but I think at least if you're going to be playing... The idea is, if you're going to be playing the Ivalice Chronicles, maybe you'll have a little perspective on what little spark note was, what's going to be missing from it. Something like that. Yeah, they like immediately would like get rid of stuff. Like we said, for Final Fantasy VII, to bring it to PC, it's based on an earlier version of the PS1 game, and they already like had so little to work with. It's crazy. Just for the original PC version, way back in the day. Let's see. So we got those side quests, the main battles, and everything. I'm still debating on how I want to go over those. The sound novel minigames are still not available in English in War of the Lion. But you can listen to music in the sound test now. The English PS1 difficulty changes were reverted. So comparatively, some allies are weaker, some bosses are stronger. Some charge times are longer, job prerequisites were reverted, and Elm Door has safeguard again. No need to save. Alright. Yeah, get comfy, throw the stream on a second monitor. Let's see what we got here. 70, all faith. Oops, all faith. Well. Turn this up a smidge here. I never paid attention to the music balance, but now it's kind of annoying me. Huh, man. I mean, this is gonna be, this is important, so I'll just get another soldier in. You'll work. And yeah, I'm going over what I have in my script here as well, just in case if there's anything people want to point out or have questions about, or anything else of note. Let's see here. Further changes of War of the Lions balance. It's not identical to PS1 JP necessarily either. Like Whitegraph, who's a notorious difficult battle in PS1 in both Japanese and English, had his stats nerfed in War of the Lions. Many abilities also take more JP to master, and many jobs had their unlocked prerequisite raised even higher. That is something I do have to double check, but I do have the footage and everything all ready to look it over and confirm. The max roster size in War of the Lions was increased from 16 to 24. That's enough for all the story characters and Balthier and Luso. And the 6 initial generic units, if you decided to keep them. A number of more individual changes as well. Rafa can't start learning skills when she's recruited. Rafa is able to start learning skills when recruited rather than waiting until Chapter 4. Let's see. The ability Seer or Mantra as well as Holy Breath now strike up to 10 times rather than up to 6. They also seemingly appeared, the Seer Mantra appears to hit the intended tile with more accuracy. Balthier's on the re-release? No, it's not. No, Balthier and Luso are not in the Ivalice Chronicles. I am all for, like, more if they want to do. We'll see how it goes. I'm all for CBU 3 also just getting to do more as well. Granted, they're being stretched thin, though they are already, I think, they seem like one of Square's larger studios at the moment. I would like them to keep doing more projects. Maybe they don't need to keep doing them as overlapping each other. And I was gonna run away. They don't have to keep overlapping, but like one project at a time, like they do Fantasia, then they do Tactics, something like that. There's a mission in the game at like a dam, and your objective wasn't to defeat the enemy, but it was to activate 2 switches, which let you since you had to activate the switches, you were free to just let your units do whatever with no enemies on screen. So you could use that to your advantage and just level them up if you wanted and farm JP and everything. Wait, who am I moving? Oh, they healed. Oh man. Actually, I've never seen them approach this far in. This is kind of interesting. That was a lot of damage from the front. Actually, you can probably throw from there. Who needs it? You. I'm gonna have to move in a little bit, but she'll be fine right there. Or he'll be fine right there. Damn it, too much stuff in the way, I forgot. Well. Once we get our way clear. Oops. Oh, whatever. Okay, cool. That works. Good, the bait worked. The bait was successful. Throw a rock. The bait was more successful than I thought. Who's closer? You know, whatever less units we can get. They're gonna show a turn order in the Ivalice Chronicles. I think that's gonna be very nice to see the turn order. Don't you have damage already? You do. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, stay ain't. Well, that's gonna. Nah, move out of the way. Ah. should have healed. Whatever. In War of the Lions, that battle that's at the dam and you have to activate the switches, it now just ends when you defeat all the enemies, so you don't get that chance anymore. One gameplay note before Cloud. The Crush / Unyielding Blade skills used by Meliadul, Fomely, and Orlando were buffed in that they can damage enemies even if they don't have Crush equipment on, unless they have a Safeguard ability. Instead, they deal bonus damage instead if they're wearing it. This change also means that skills work on monsters. And let me see. Okay, we got more of them down than I thought. I'm gonna, yeah, here we go. Perfect. Can at least get her up from there. Oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, give me a moment. No, I see, Bree. It's just there's a lot going on. And I just attacked my own teammate. No, yeah, you're right about like the sheer catalog from Square. What was it? Yeah, I'm just going through my notes here. So this is my thing about Cloud. And what I have noted about Cloud, because I was reading some conflicting things about getting Cloud. I'm pretty sure I have everything cleared up now, so that's why I'm just like looking to reiterate and make sure I'm clear on my understanding of it. Regarding Cloud, during Chapter 4, there's a number of steps you have to follow to first bring Cloud into Ivalice. And once you do, he can't actually be recruited until after you progress the story a bit. So there's a step of bringing Cloud into Ivalice that you can do earlier in Chapter 4, but then you can't actually recruit him until a later point of Chapter 4. In the War of the Lions, you are able to recruit Cloud as soon as you pull him into Ivalice. That's the change they made in War of the Lions. I'm not sure if anyone else is in chat at the moment, that's all. No, because I don't see him either, unless it's taken out of the YouTube top chat. I don't know how YouTube top chat works. Let's see. Double check it's an enemy before I do anything again. Yes, move in. Let's go. No, a Discord, not a server, no. Rats. Oh man, I still can't get over there. Alright, that works. War of the Lions is a widescreen game. I don't have Phoenix Downs. I thought I had Phoenix Downs. That's right. I think it's the female cleric who starts with the Phoenix Downs. Well, do you have damage? No. Anyone have damage? It's a good thing this isn't necessarily a very important playthrough or my only playthrough. Otherwise, I would be resetting to avoid a lost unit. The aesthetic of the game? Yeah, absolutely. These Aeon Genesis titles. My email is on my YouTube channel. If you go to the YouTube channel and the About tab, you'll see a business email thing to click. Let's see. Now that. Just double checking myself here. Okay, well thankfully they're all moved forward. I might be able to clear them out before we lose our unit, but I'm not gonna sweat it if we do. I appreciate that, Jacket. I appreciate that. Doing what I can, and speaking of translations, about like, oh, I'm gonna speak on visuals first, and then localization here. From the damn, well, close enough. And again, also, when I do the tactics stream on day one release, it'll be the pre-recorded footage comparison kind of deal that I usually do with the day one stream of a game. So that's when I'll still do that for tactics. Tactics is going to have a full port review, and it's going to have that port review significantly sooner than the other games I've been doing. It's going to be my priority. But yeah, let's see here. There we go. 28 years, man. It's been... I remember tactics when I was younger, but this is... Everything I've been doing prep here has been really my first time going through it as an adult. So much more of it's been sticking here. Translating for 26. I was gonna say Aeon Genesis has been around for a significantly long time. 22. Damn it. Here we go. Yeah, because Tactics was was the next game after 7. And, I mean, thematically, just as, like, Final Fantasy is always bouncing between directors and different approaches, that's very much a immediate, like, difference. Just because Final Fantasy has always had those two primary teams. Rather, Square has always had those two primary teams just going back and forth. This... Man, get out of it. Chemist. I've been calling him Cleric. It's a chemist. There we go. Alright, we didn't lose our unit. The PSP War of the Lions is a widescreen game. The UI was properly adapted, but the battles in game are stretched out. You're gonna see eventually when I show the PSP footage, I really can't get it to look that sharp because of how they did the scaling on it. It's really frustrating. Like, the clearest I can make it, like, this game, this is a real PS1 you're seeing, right? This is real footage. This is sharper than how the PSP version is gonna look on the PS TV. And I can't get it any sharper. Frustrating. Oh, Vagrant Story would be so sick to see. And patch the slowdown like they did in mobile. No, this is PS1. That's not slowdown, that's a lower frame rate. When you will remember how bad the slowdown is when we look at the PSP footage. The slowdown is significantly worse than how it comes, than the lowered frame rate of PS1. Yep. I did, though it was, what is it? When I tried the Android version, it wasn't just that it was, there was no slowdown, but it was too fast. I don't know if there was anything I could have done about that, but it acted like the frame rate was, like, uncapped practically. There was a patch for PSP. I get, see, that's like the rabbit hole of some info, because I could talk about Final Fantasy Tactics Prime, and then it's like, there is a patch for slowdown. I guess I could use it as like a comparison, but then at the same time, it also just looks like how it does here. I don't know, I'll have to think about that for now. I have so many variables I have to work on with these videos. Last few squares on Famicom were re-released. It feels like there's a lot of hidden gems. I mean, all up to PS2 and a few PS3. JRPGs in general, like across the whole genre. There's so many hidden gems and experimental games in there. Yeah, Bahamut Lagoon and such. For War of the Lions, the entire English script was rewritten and the text was fleshed out. The PS1 version's English is simpler to read, with some awkward reading moments and mistakes. Is almost infamous, and War of the Lions itself even references some of the text of the original translation. War of the Lions reads more flowery and is similar to games like Vagrant Story or Final Fantasy 12 or 14. As I was going through, I feel like even compared to those, War of the Lions is still a step above those in terms of like reading more flowery, I guess is that term for it. So it's even like a step between that. It's like really two different extremes. I don't know if I'll get too into it because this is another one of those areas where there's so much that it's a rabbit hole to go down in going further in depth in it. Oh, I remember this fight. Hold on. Let me get everyone back that leveled up. Okay. Actually, I'm putting you away and taking her out because I'm pretty sure she has access to Phoenix Downs. And then... Oh no, that's it. Okay. Like that. There's many new changes with the in English. I was mentioning them before, but terms, stores, menu options, statuses, terrain types, characters, chapter titles, organizations, enemies, nicknames, titles, locations, jobs, monsters, abilities, equipment, errands, and treasures and items were changed in names. There is a lot of terms that are different between PS1 and War of the Lions, and subsequently the Evil East Chronicles. There was also another thing I noted was there's a few even pop culture references in the PS1 game and those stayed in Japanese on PSP, but English localization changed them. Oops. Circle is A, X is circle. And by pop, I mean like 2 of them. Chapter 4 was titled Somebody to Love in reference to a Queen song. In War of the Lions, Chapter 4 is named In the Name of Love. The Floors of Deep Dungeon, or Midlight's Deep, before were references to the 1979 Vietnam War film Apocalypse Now. They now have original names. So that's just those 2 things. That's the context of what I was saying. It's just those 2 things. The Aaron titled Mother, which featured black-caped men, referencing FF7, was named Nightwalker in War of the Lions. Apanda is a palette swap of Biblos. Both appear in Tactics from Final Fantasy V, but in War of the Lions, Apanda's name is renamed to the Reaver. So I have those things to mention, but those are, it's just like references there. Honestly, the thing I keep an eye out for them because I want to also know what they do in the Ivalice Chronicles. And that's kind of the cool thing is the Ivalice Chronicles has the voice acting for it, right? And because it has that voice acting, there is a lot of this. I was preparing for the map as if it was a skirmish. I forgot how it looked in the actual mission. Here, this is fine. I got distracted into which part I was covering. Older titles to, yeah, depending on like the work involved with them. Translated cat shit 1 as a one-off for Antarctic Press. Originally called Apocalyptic Meow. I'm gonna rename it back to Cat Shit 1. I could see where the discussion would happen. I thought they would be here faster. Please come closer. I will not. Oh, he's already here. Oh. That makes my job easier. All I was gonna do was just throw you a potion. I still don't have Phoenix Down access. Oh, so in War of the Lions, sorry, not in War of the Lions, in the Ivalice Chronicles, the new one coming out, it has voice acting. And even if you weren't like a fan of how the War of the Lions script is, the script is still going to be refined in the Ivalice Chronicles because they have to reword it so that it sounds good when said out loud. That is something that gets noticed when you have to turn a script from something in text to something that's going to be said out loud. It leads to taking care of a lot of dialogue that can sound awkward or even read awkward. I thought that brought up an interesting discussion though, because there's also the case where like, because it is voiced, it is going to be typed in a way that can read awkwardly out loud. And Metaphor is an incredible example of that, where there's a character in Metaphor, it's been so long now, I don't remember, But he does not speak with any sort of American accent. I forget what the accent is. It might have been Scottish. No, it was more British. It talks in a real like heavy dialect. Dialect is the word. He has a very heavy British dialect, and it does not read cleanly at all, just in plain text. For the characterization, I think it's cool. I think if you're listening in Japanese, though, you're gonna miss that. And also, it just makes his dialogue harder to read, which is why it's cool in like the Yakuza games where if you play with Japanese voices, you get different subtitles than you would if you were playing with the English dub. Like that's what that situation is for. But not many other games really do that outside of Yakuza games. No one needs healing right now, right? It wouldn't hurt. You're fine, you're fine, you're fine. You're pushing it. I remember there was a thing Galek says in the beginning of Final Fantasy, of Metaphor, where she's making like a more like sympathetic, heartfelt description of the protagonist in, I think it's like calling him dopey, where she has like more concern, and if you read just the text without hearing how she voice acts and pronounces what she says, she just sounds like she's insulting him. And then when you listen to her English voice acting, it's lost that she's actually talking like sympathetically about him, and she's not like insulting at all. But then also, if you play in Japanese, you're also gonna miss how that's done. I get the best of both worlds really is having the two different scripts written out, but yeah, again, only Yakuza games really do that. I gotta commit here, but I mean, someone's gotta get this beast out of the way. Day 1 release will be here. We'll see. Anyone's waiting until day 1, we will also take a look at it. The Switch 2 version be on card, or is it game key card? I'll take a wild guess. I'm pretty positive it's a key card. I think last time I was talking about that was on Twitch. It wasn't on YouTube. But it's not even just that. It's the fact that Nintendo only produces one file size, one capacity size for the Switch 2 carts, but it's also the proprietary speed format for it at the current moment is not very cheap to massively produce. It would not be budget efficient to produce the other sizes at the current moment. The issue with key cards right now could potentially change over the years. However, also the cartridges are slower than the internal storage, which is really annoying. So there will be games where, especially if they're multi-platform games and they rely on SSD more closer to SSD speeds and that fast streaming, they are not going to have keycard games because the reading off the cartridge is not faster than reading off the internal storage or SD card. How's everyone's health doing? Everyone can, there's so few units left, we can get another turn in. I definitely share some annoyances regarding the Switch 2, the same way I really share the annoyances with like like Xbox and PS5 at this point. Like, all these gens feel unnecessary. Though I guess that's what makes it more frustrating with the Switch 2, is the Switch 2 was necessary compared to PS5 and Xbox Series. I guess that's still a whole other discussion, because it's the CPUs definitely and the native SSDs are still a much larger advantage that we did not have in the prior gen. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool approach with Hades 2 then, and being able to do that. That reminded me of another thing. Oh, I think it was the developer of Stardew Valley was mentioning that to do Switch 2 upgrades legally in Japan, like if there is a Switch 2 upgrade, if there is a hardware upgrade like thing to purchase, in Japan, it legally has to be something that is paid for. It cannot be free in Japan. And I'm sure that influences a lot of things. Like with Trails in the Sky, I'm pretty sure that would influence it with Trails in the Sky, because that's like $1 upgrade to the Switch 2 version. I guess just so it's like even across the board between Japan and the US. If I recall correctly, anyway. This format is annoying, yeah, and it's gonna take like multiple years before it's like settled. I think in time it is possible that more Switch 2 games will not be key cards, but if we do end up set into the precedent where physical is just gone, then maybe not. However, when speaks and work with the translation, the characterizations, you have to adjust it accordingly, right? Because it's all about the characterization, but like the characterization evoking the same feeling out of people across cultures. And maybe in like Ace Attorney's case, where it's this commentary on a Japanese court system that's lost from the beginning. Force separate between OG and Switch 2. With what is it? I don't want physical to die either. I'm really concerned for it at the moment. I want to double check what after what I know now, I would want to double confirm if the Evil East Chronicles is a free Switch 2 upgrade. Why did Ninebot go off? Hello, Jesus. Support? That's weird. I didn't set that. We need Ninebot later in the stream, but not right now. It is free? Okay, that's cool. Let's get another mission in, especially here. I mean, the last thing I still had to mention was still for the mobile versions. There's no multiplayer function. I did mention that. The items are earned elsewhere. They also... Items from the multiplayer on mobile remain purchasable in future saves, in future playthroughs. The items that were originally from multiplayer. Also, the mobile version of Tactics lets you skip cutscenes. Suspending a battle in progress was a feature that had to be removed. Android added a quick save feature. Both versions also have stayed updated and feature HD assets. However, depending on how old the Apple device is, it may not have the HD assets. and will be an older version, though we are talking about devices well over 10 years old. If you have an Apple device over 10 years old, it's going to be the non-HD version. So content on I mean, what is it? I'm blanking on the word, it disappeared from me. Well, the content that's in the Evil East Chronicles, we were mentioning with like the source code lost. They do have the sound novel minigames were finally localized, so those are in the Evil East Chronicles at least. I think I got distracted because all of my other remaster notes I've already mentioned. Oh yeah, so the embargo was up and there's all the reviews are out now for the Evil East Chronicles. A lot of info is already out there now. I'm gonna have to comb through it, but I am trying to just focus on everything between PS1 and PSP at the moment, and hopefully by like Friday, by like the other stream when the Evil East Chronicles is out, I have more info, especially on these things compared to what I have today. But yeah, that's where it's like any info that I've shared today in this first hour is what I'm putting out there. The thing I would still like to know with tactics, but is also a deep rabbit hole, is gonna be more about balance changes, and how I would phrase that is, if you make a tier list of jobs between Tactics PS1 and War of the Lions, which jobs or which abilities go up or down tier lists between the games? I don't think there's any that really do. I don't know, Nintendo's not just lowering prices, but Sony and Xbox have raised them. Xbox is raising them again. I wouldn't be surprised if Sony ends up raising them again as well. And certainly we notice it's not a Nintendo alone on that front. It's certainly also frustrating, though. And with these prices, you know, everyone is at where they're at. I'll say, as I've said, like, if it were not like my occupation and job, if it was not a necessity for me, then I would not have an Xbox Series or a PS5 or a Switch 2, probably. I probably wouldn't have any of these things. Especially with how much nice support PC gets. I wouldn't have half my consoles either, though. Like, I would... no other reason to have this PS1. This PS1 because the PS2 is not capable of natively playing backups. PS1 backups. The emulation for it isn't great. If I didn't have to be like nitpicky about my footage, I would just be playing GameCube games on the Wii U. And then that would be like the only Nintendo console I'd have prior. I just have much less going on in the setup. I should have gotten abilities. Rats. Well... let's see what we can do. Still only use 4 units anyway. Which battle is this? I'm gonna remember it as soon as I see the battlefield. Oh boy, good luck. Oh, I need a drink. If there was anyone but Ramza, it wouldn't be a good idea. Yeah, a bunch of those collections. I found it funny that, like, Mortal Kombat having a collection is probably the only fighting game right now that really could get away with having that kind of collection without having online play. It's not like the most in-demand thing. Nice. Let's see what everyone else does. Man, I wouldn't have a PS2 either. I would just have a PS3. I was gonna go there. Oh, Capcom Fighting Collection 2 is so good. That's the one where it's like, I was gonna say, like, in contrast, like that, you get Power Stone 1, 2, CVS 2, and they all have the fantastic rollback netcode and the arranged soundtracks. It's pretty nice. No, I don't think Digital Eclipse, right? They're the ones doing it. I don't think they've done any online multiplayer games. If the features were there, like if they had like ranked or lobbies, I think they would have talked about it by now, right? Oh, perfect. SNES holds a very close place in my heart. Nice. Yeah, some for online for the 30th anniversary. I was thinking about that, like, at the current rate Capcom is going, it kind of sucks that if they do anything with the Street Fighter collection, like, they're probably not going to build off of what they did. They're probably just going to redo their own collection, which means buying it again. But at the same time, if they handle it as a collection like they did with like with Fighting Collection 2, it'll be fine. But still unfortunate. Oh man. Ninja Turtles collection that has online. Oh. MK Collection is going to have online with some of the games as well. Okay, cool. That's good to hear. Just not with the handheld. That's expected. That's expected. That was kind of a lot. I gotta be real. That was a way faster way of getting oil status effect onto the characters. It took me a couple hours to get proper footage of getting my units to have the oil status effect on them, so that I could show off how it doesn't do anything. That took me hours, and that bomb just did it on accident. Also, we now have to finish this battle in 2 turns. So do I have no... I need to double check. No units that can use items? No. Oh, man. Oh, wow. That's a lot of HP. Do it. Nice. That's what I'm talking about, Victor. Okay, well, maybe we'll be able to do it just fine. For me, it'd be really the price. Even the games that are like exciting, it's there's still so many. Like, that's the thing, is even if you're excited for games right now, there's so many, and they're so like expensive. Like, I've just noticed that, especially with TGS, and I'll talk about it more during the sponsored game segment, that like these games all look great, but they're not of like my top priority, and I can only get so much. Only so much media to consume at a time. There was something we were talking about earlier with like I was saying like Tears of the Kingdom is a good example of a game that just has too much content. Xenoblade 3, too much content, or Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Like, absurd amount of content for $70, but at $70 I don't want that much. However, I was thinking, like, there's one thing I would clarify that and say that none of those games are games where I would consider that they disrespect the player's time. Disrespecting the player's time, I think, is an entirely, like, separate issue that I don't think any of those games in particular are guilty of. Like, that would be the more, like, critical way of putting it. Otherwise, I don't necessarily have that huge of a problem with the amount of content all those games offer. Besides the fact that I just do not have time for them. Oh, man. Yeah, only so much you can do. I'm already behind, though I have been feeling a bit better. But I mean, I want to see how I need to see how I handle this crunch on Final Fantasy Tactics before I get too ambitious going forward. And Xenoblade 2's TLC Torna was, actually, I don't remember 3's DLC and Definitive Edition, as well as 7 Rebirth. And PS1. Original look and feel. I mean, just with PS1, PS1 aesthetic is just something I'm always going to be attached to. It's pretty inevitable. Oh, I probably should have. Oh, whatever. No, you know what I should have done? I should have used the chemist to finish off the monster. Because now Ramza is 29. Oh boy. Well, good luck to them. Good thing this is not an important save. Yeah, if it comes to it, I am just gonna end up taking my time with it. There, like, if I'm burnt out, then I'm burnt out. It's not much I can really. Nice. Oh, could he even get in position to attack? Oh, thank God. That was close. Nobody lost. I was gonna say Xenoblade 2 had such a rush to it, especially in those cases where, in the growing pains of worldwide releases, and then suddenly teams having to work on now being worldwide releases. Xenoblade 2 certainly ended up showing those growing pains. I give it more slack for that now. Although the next time I play it, it's gonna be in Japanese, probably. I don't know if I'm gonna go into this battle. I think is there a cutscene? No, there's not a cutscene. For tactics, we're gonna pause it there. I was gonna mention with, like, since we were talking about the money, right? And segue in here. What is it? And also, you know, talking about things in my crunch and everything that's been going on. I have mentioned bills before, and one of the big ones I have to handle is the last of Rita's vet bills. I did fine in managing her food and medication needs. Though several months ago, one of the things she needed was a couple teeth removed. Thankfully, not nearly as many as they thought they would have to remove. For prior things, I did do, like, streams for Rita to raise money. Like for her insulin and then her hip dysplasia. But the dental surgery is asking way too much. So that's there's more bills. It's just that that's such a looming one going on. You have insurance? She was too old to get it. No, there was no insurance I was going to take her for. We had a care credit, which is how it's being paid off now. But regardless, it is still something that needs to be paid for. So anyway, it's not even just that, but it's just bills in general. If anyone knows about property taxes, Jesus Christ. So anyway, that's where the support comes in the next segment of our stream is. Which is thanks to Raid Shadow Legends. I encourage everyone to stick around because I am going to be talking about the TGS news from the last day and everything. But I just want to give them a thank you for the support, because the bills and everything going on, it means a lot, and everyone's support, and also the opportunity here also means a lot. So. I would say, yeah, please stick around as we're going to be talking about TGS news and everything. but I would like to share the talk about raid, and that's what we're going to be spending the rest of the stream on at the moment. So I've done all my tactics talk. If anyone has notes on tactics or anything to mention on what I've talked about, all my notes, I've shared all my notes currently on tactics. Anything regarding that is out there for feedback, basically. Anyway, so let's talk about Raid Shadow Legends, right? We'll be doing that for a bit. We're gonna be chilling with Raid Shadow Legends, and we're going to discuss TGS as we go. But since they are supporting the channel, let me put everyone onto what's going on with Raid at the moment, if it's been a while since you've last heard from it. Let's see here. Let me open it up as well. There's never been a better time to start playing Raid with 5 million active users, and this month has been full of giveaways. With the QR code going to be on screen in a minute, QR code that'll be on screen or in the description will be a way to start the game up. Here. So, with the QR code or link in the description, if you sign up, you'll immediately get a huge starter pack with an Epic Champion, Ultimate Galek of the Orcs faction. So let me go here. With the code I have there. Correct. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Sorry, double check here. Orcs. Down in Epic. Here he is. Sorry. Yeah, it's on PC and mobile. Yeah. At level 15, you get another starter pack that includes Epic Champion Drake. I seem to have not written down where Drake was. I think Drake was here in the Lizard Men. Yeah, here's Drake of the Lizard Men. And if you, and with the referral link, or like the link in the description, or the QR code, if you scan that, you also, in addition to those things, you can pick a legendary hero from 5 promo codes for new players. This is a limited time offer, so if you're at all curious, now is the time. The promo codes are promo codes in general for Raid are pretty good, though these ones have 48 hours from downloading them to redeem one of them. If you go through any other links, you won't get these packages that the Raid team gave me specifically. So if you're going to play and use any of these codes, it's got to be through the QR code and everything, or the link in the description. One more thing here, also turn that on. Okay. Those champions. Rourke, who is where is he? Sylvan. Of the 5 you can pick from, we've got Rourke. Here. There will be 5 you can pick from. Rourke, this is legendary. These are the important ones out of these ones. With Rourke, well, I'm getting my music going here. Organize my tabs here. Let's see, tell you about one of the favorite factions, which would be the Sylvan Watchers. Rather than about the Watchers, right? Rather than building a sprawling city on the ground or in a cave, the Sylvan Watchers made their home in the Mistwood, a huge jungle in the east of Teleria. Don't expect to walk in the park if you visit the Solarian Watchers. If the beasts don't kill you, the Sylvan probably will for trespassing in their land. They do have a city open to outsiders called Nyresa. And you've made fast friends with the neighboring Shadowkin and Dwarf factions through shared struggles. That's why these three factions are all in the Neresian Union Alliance in-game, as their bond for friendship was forged in the city of Nerissa, the more you know. Those are plot-wise, but these are gameplay-wise. I'll bring up their skills here. And again, like we'll go through here a little bit for the index, champion index in the bottom right, where you can check out everyone that's just in the game, and Rorik's down here. I can move that now. There's Rorik. There's Alice the Wanderer. There's a few, and which is from Alice in Wonderland. There's a couple of characters there. Alice will show off in Sacred Order. She is. Well, that's exactly what you were thinking. You have the choice of her or Rorik. Let's see. Let me go over a bit because there's a couple here with Alice. Raid just released 5 brand new legendary champions inspired by the classic tale of Alice's adventures in Wonderland. There's Alice, there's Cheshire, Mad Hatter, and Knave of Hearts, and the fearsome Queen of Hearts. Dark fantasy rendition of Wonderland to the realm of Teleria. Alice here is a formidable attack type champion specializing in enemy control and the high damage output. Alice's skill set makes her a versatile champion, excelling in PvP and PvE, which both those kind of things are going to be covered today. She's a ferocious attacker, ruthlessly manipulating the cooldown of her enemies and increasing her own damage while doing so, with pair champions that can place defense decreasing debuffs and damage enhancing buffs. She can become a real powerhouse of a champion, dealing large amounts of damage rapidly. And once we get into gameplay, I think a lot of more things will start making sense. But yeah, we'll come across that. So there's her. In the Barbarians, another one of your options. Here, Taharanak. The notes here are less for her. More of the buffs here. I don't necessarily think you can go wrong with any of these legendaries, and certainly having them from a start is a pretty big deal. I have a number of gameplay things to share if you're still going in without like anything like this. So taking like the kind of knowledge I'm going to be sharing in a bit along with this stuff, I think adds up. There was her, and then there's Sun Wukong in Skinwalkers here, right? As you would expect, yep. And over these abilities quick. And then we have Tholan Foulbeard of the Dwarves. Tholan. So of those characters I just showed, you get to pick one of them within the first 48 hours of redeeming and downloading the game with the QR code or the link in the description. Otherwise, some generic promo codes include Game Leap, one word, gives you 1 full energy, 10 XP brew, and 100,000 silver, as well as the promo code PP500, all one word, for 150 multi-battle attempts, 200 energy, 400,000 silver, and 500 Plarium points. You can use promo codes like those generic ones, but you have you can only use one a day because of the advantage they give you. Right then. big thing going on with Raid will be right now. Biggest thing going on with Raid is a partnership with Paramount and a collaboration with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which we are going to, let's quickly take a look at the trailer here. Let me go through that. How prominent I love how prominent the turtles have been like over the last couple years, and everywhere they appear.
Man, I wish the other guys could see this place.
And I love how they get to fit in with like all sorts of different art styles.
And they got super cool green dudes here too. Yo, Savage Orc bro, what's up?
I'd seeing like their appearances like this get to just blend in everywhere, right? It's about what I would expect. Even then, like the outfit they put on them too still works. And production of the trailers are crazy as well. Any commercials they do, really. Shredder's here too. We'll have quite a bit to look at with the turtles in a minute here.
I owe you one, green dude.
Don't dude me.
Oh, got it, bro.
I could just let go.
I would.
Yeah, I got him rocking.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have arrived in the Raid universe. Play now to get your free legendary Michelangelo champion.
That little ending bit there with Shredder, I like that here. I like that little bit there. So then we have some visuals to go through here as well. So with that trailer, what is it? So I've already got Mikey, so we're going to be seeing Mikey a lot here. Going for April would be cool, but that's going to take time to commit. With the trailer, yeah, we got Leo, Don, Raph, Mikey, Shredder, and April are all champions. The event started August 21st and goes on until November 13th, but you have to start by October 30th to collect the champions. So if it at all interests you, again, now is the time to move on that. Mikey, we'll show here, yeah, there. Gonna show his stuff here. No Splinter as far as I know now. Mikey, you said before, you obtained from logging in for 7 days, and that's all, which is why I have him already. Mikey can spread debuffs, taunt enemies with trash talk, and dodge their attacks. Then you can fuse Donatello. Let's look at there. Fuse Donatello, top support, who heals allies and reduces cooldowns. And for summoning, there's Leonardo and Raphael. Also notice it puts them into different factions, so Raphael's in a barbarian, Shadowkin is Leonardo. April and Shredder. April. I can show her in game in a minute with the proper UI, and then Shredder is also there. You can summon Leonardo, Raphael, April, and Shredder through limited time events and challenge Shredder in the event dungeon to earn exclusive Chronophage gear set, which, yeah, Shredder is a raid boss. Briefly there, but yeah. You can collect all 6 and unlock a special bonus reward, Better Than Pizza. It is something not shared deliberately, so it's that's like a tune in and find out kind of thing. So again, yeah, if at all interest, they're there, and it's now or never, basically, with October 30th by the latest to collect them. A few more notes before we get started. If you want to join my clan in game, I can stay in game now. If you want to join the clan in game, it's G2BC is the tag, and Go to Bed will be the name of it. That's make sure you join the right one. That is specifically G2BC for the tag. If we get into raid, clan bosses, to my understanding, are some of the most rewarding content materially, but I'm not really pursuing endgame at the moment, and a lot of what I'm going to be showing and talking about, and all my gameplay notes is more about getting started. But you can join mine, or you can join friends or family and play in a clan. The game has practically endless content with new stuff happening all the time, and is cross-platform on mobile and PC with AAA graphics. And based on user feedback, it was determined Raid PvE is by far the most advanced, and we'll get a taste of it if you're not familiar. We're getting started. We'll take a look at the campaign, the dungeons, the arena, which is PvP, and some of the clan content I can do. The first thing, though, will be let me clear out some of these red markers all over, and go over why we have a place dedicated to leveling right from the start as well. See our dailies, we'll go through those. Collect my time rewards as the game's been open for a bit, as I've been going through today. Okay. I am going to any shards in here? Yeah, go ahead and claim these. I think I'm gonna be full on character, so I'm not gonna bother with them there. Of course, with how it's a mobile game and with gacha, we have our shards. Oh, claiming more stuff. Oh, good. Glad we got one of those ancient shards. So we get more rolls to go through. So I have some of these stacked up. There will be more opportune times, more important times to start rolling. Summon boost up to 25% chance for the next 9 hours. I'm gonna clear through these. Well, actually, how many spaces do I have right now? I'm pretty focused. Let's forego those and just go individual with these ones for now. April's there, huh? I mean, might as well try. Progressive chance is as we do these rolls, it like builds up. So we'll be going one by one for these. See what we do. Start rolling, getting people lined up. Many that'll end up turning into chickens, and for a game like this and for raid, I'll explain what chicken means for units in time as we pack a few up here. So this is the first time I'm actually opening any of these shards and doing these pulls that are not from the green ones. So all these are coming out of the gate already at 3-star. And from the greens, you're typically getting 1 and 2-star. I worked really hard to get... So War Maiden, actually, that's a pretty good one. War Maiden is one of the better ones you could openly start the game with, right? And the way you would get her, if it not through rolling, is grinding a campaign, I think here at 8. I don't remember which one you're grinding for War Maiden. Actually, it'll say on the right here. War Maiden is a very good one to here in the Deadlands on 9. So I was farming stage 1 of this a lot to get War Maiden, because she's one of the better starting units you could get like right out of the gate. But I mean, just got her there, so that's pretty cool to have at least gotten that roll. You know, the Alice one. Not as worried about it right now, but let's keep going through these summons. All right. More we got, and now we got our Sacred Shards. April is also here. But I mean, there's a lot of characters in this game. Look at the Steadfast. Man, this would have saved me a lot of time. But I really wanted to wait to open these up on stream. Okay. Oh, hell yeah. Only 4 stars, but... Cool, there's one lower, one more. Okay, and a dwarf. Cool. So anything, we'll take what we can get. With raid, it's gonna be important to build. You're gonna be building up in specific units. So when we look at my champions, I have these 5 here. Kale, if you start out the game, Kale is one of the ones you're given an option to pick, and he's usually the most easily recommendable. Sorry, one of the most easily recommended, as he has poison and works as a good nuker. So as you go through, especially from the start, he's just a great one to start with. Cold Heart is here as well. War Maiden here. War Priest and Michelangelo has been the main 5 that I have been working with and maintaining. I mean, Mikey came in a little bit later, but I still work to get him caught up where I can. So, I mean, you have your summons, you have the potential of, like, the promo codes. If anyone from the promo codes. Kale here. Cold Heart was just a pull. And then I think from story, War Maiden, it comes from the campaign. War Priest was also either a campaign or a more common pull, and I've already just got these 2 up to level 4, up to star rank 4. But I mean, right now, even after these pull, I have more options. I would have to see how these other characters fare and see if they are worth putting in over anyone else I have. For now, though, for the sake of this stream, I don't need to. So that's with pulling. The Guardian Ring is a place for automatic leveling. There's still value in how many units you pull, because you will be using some of these as chickens, and that is used in, if we go to the tavern here, leveling up units. After you hit like the max level for whatever amount of stars they have, you will need to rank them up. To rank them up, you need to provide chickens, fully cooked chickens. I have none on hand right now, but any of these other units, when they are max leveled, they can use the other, like if these units are used as chickens if this unit was fully leveled. War Maiden's not maxed out. And as long as they're of the other 3. So if I had a unit that was level 3 and at level 30, I will be able to use all of these units to raise their level cap up to 4. And for the grinding sake, which is quite a bit of what we'll show here, that is important value to it. So, you'll go through the career. I wanted to show off Deadlands. This is where you would get War Maiden, who's recommended to get. For levels, we would look here, but let me actually just like go in and continue the hard career so we can actually see what gameplay looks like. 'Cause it's been a bit, I've been yapping for a bit. So let me just show like what we actually got going on here. Yeah, just throw these 4 there. I have been enjoying my time on Raid as I've been keeping it up on the second monitor. It's totally turn-based with these abilities. It simply goes from there. But also there is perfectly viable to just play with auto as well. And I really appreciate this. It has been something that I've been able to just keep going, and that's why my account right now is like as far as it is because this is something that I've just been able to do like on the side monitor as I've been going through. So that's how we go through. Campaign is your main leveling and everything will show. We're gonna be blitzing through this, and again, you don't have to play on auto, and you have your options here. And it is one of those cases where you would expect where you're gonna do better if you don't use auto, but for the most part, you're gonna get away with auto, especially with everything we'll be spending in grinding. Let's see how things go with how later we are. 47, put Mikey in. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Give that a shot. So this is like the main gameplay part once we get through. I'm gonna go over more TGS stuff here. Just let me like get our objectives here out of the way so we can go back through everything. So progress through the campaign is important and everything progressing. I'm already hit like the end on normal difficulty, so I've just been going through it on hard difficulty and then up from there. If I were to grind weaker units right now, I believe it's here on stage 12-3. You go in, have a strong unit in the front, pick your other units. They're gonna want to start leveling. And this would be a case of where you would use auto battle, but we don't need to. And this is how you're essentially, without spending resources to level them, how you're going to be grinding the level of units. You were leveling these units up so that you can raise their ranks. Their ranks go up from chickens and becoming chickens. But then it's like, if I have a unit with 4 stars, the only way for me to get more 4-star units is through raising the ranks of the 3-star units. So that's where like this whole like chicken mechanic, I guess mechanic comes from. Also, you don't need to like, they don't need to be alive, they don't need to even finish the fight. They're still gonna get XP and obtain levels. But anyway, that's the objective there. Knowing importantly, like the things like starting with Kale and which units you're gonna start with for starting with the units you're gonna focus on building up and knowing how to do it efficiently like this. Gonna make things go faster. So we're gonna take whatever steps we can get here. Good luck, Mikey. The little bit further you can get, the more XP. And then obviously if finishing the fights, get more XP, but yeah, still plenty of level here. That's the tip there. And then we would be going back to the tavern to manage everyone and focus on leveling. Even now, yeah, I have some brews if I wanted to level a unit up. Spending these or choosing to save them. It might even choose to save them because you can just again use the career to level them up instead of spending these resources. Let's see, how am I doing on the pass? How am I doing my dailies? Let's see. All right. We have, that's career. Dungeons. This is where Shredder is. Let's show Shredder off. But you have all these dungeons. They drop different items depending on where they are, like the Spirit Key, blue, green, blue, red, purple, right? The drops from them are used for ascending units and ascending units, which is increasing their base stats per their star ranks. And it requires these potions or these brews that you obtain from the dungeon drops. Or in some cases you have special ones, like for Shredder here, right? We'll do this one where you are doing it for that gear, the Chronophage gear set. And then there's multiple difficulties of these that just keep going up and give better rewards. So, I mean, like, these events you could do at any point in your progress. But you can go about that one pretty fine. Let's keep going with the stars, I guess. Yeah, you get to go from level with, you get to go up in level, as you can, and better rewards for each time you're able to clear it. This will we'll see if I even make it through this one. And looks like just fine. And still go another one. Also getting 4-star gear. Oh, look, we got extra helpa here. That's pretty cool. Might be an extra step. I mean, now with those other units I finally pulled, I might want to reevaluate my team, though I'm still doing very decent with progress here. Okay. So we'll be going through dungeon stuff more in a moment as well. Faction wars depends. This is what the importance I was trying to stress with, like, the factions that everyone is in between Barbarian, Sacred Order, Lizardman, the Shadowkin, the Sylvan, is they can be exclusively used in these crypts. And these are the only units you're able to use for these fights. So there is also a value in maintaining a few more if this is how you were going, gonna go about it. And then there's PvP, which we're going to get to just go through, as we're already, like, the team is already really over leveled. And I didn't even add here. Yeah, now we're at 29,000 power. So I'm gonna need to, like, go through PvP for quite a bit so that I can get to battles that don't end like that. But again, it is the like the advice and everything I've already shared to help like get to this point pretty immediately. Okay. Let's do this one. 19,000. They have 19,000 power. I can see 2 units carrying. There's one thing is the game does start you with some what's the word for it? It starts you with some gear that is good for lifesteal. Yeah, lifesteal. And you're gonna want to. I think the best approach is spreading that out in who has it equipped. And just to make sure all your units have lifesteal on them and have some sort of regen going on right out the gate. And then for clan wars, we would have it here where like all the enemies are here on the right side, and how it would be working is I'm going in and I'm doing the battle here, right? And I would be collectively sharing the progress with everyone else in the clan, which is why this is doing so, you know, little damage for what it is. Damn, we're gonna get further than this than I thought we would. We're gonna be here a while. I'm not losing nearly as much HP as I thought I would. Not especially not from the last time I did this. But that's another thing with Kale is poison is so notably good of a debuff in this game, and it's another advantage that Kale has as the first one you can pick. Those are all the modes. I'm going to be cycling through them. I'm also going to take a drink of water because of how much I've been talking. We'll also get to talk more about things and also play more of this tomorrow as well. I did say I was going to do Atelier tomorrow. I would still like to, although I would also enjoy Sonic. We'll see. I might just stick to Atelier though. I'm surprised we lasted so long. That was crazy. Okay. And then it's written down for now in battle history, and then the rewards will be claimed later in 10 hours. Anyway, let's see here. So, yeah, let me progress in the campaign as far as I can. Yeah, keep that rocking. So what was it? TGS going on, right? And we have what is it? Yakuza 3, right? It's one of my favorite Yakuza games. I don't know why the music disappeared. I was nervous about it, and I'm unsure how to feel. It's got ups and downs to it, and what we've seen so far. And then there's excuse me, it was like a little, so far, a number of things from TGS have just like been a little underwhelming. But also there's still a lot that has to happen. It's gonna be a pretty busy week all around the industry. Man, I need to turn the music up, I guess. Maybe it's just this chapter. Nice. Okay, cool. Up, 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 up. No problem. Probably gonna end up getting really far. Maybe things will kick up later. There's something I need to check here real quick. Let's see here. Yeah, I was, oh, yeah, you know, I use, like, a new font and everything for, my branding. I changed the font. I have a sans serif font I'm actually using as well now. A lot of things were, like, the font choice and the updated assets was kind of like a, placeholder. But I really like where it's at now. I'm glad I, got everything figured out. Really happy with how it turned out. Hopefully I don't think I'll be changing anything else. But it's been like a everything going on in like the last month. This is probably just a good time for some change, basically. And I've been doing that with like my room setup. I have a lot of things moved around in my room very recently that are just a lot significantly more manageable now, which it's very nice. It's kind of some setup movement stuff I should have done before. I waited to do it though because I didn't want to. I moved how I have my couch positioned, and how it is now would not have worked with Rita. She wouldn't have been a fan of it. So I kept I kept like a layout of everything in my room and my little battle station here, how it was. So Rita could enjoy coming up on the couch and being up next to me. So it's now with like everything now, it's a good change of pace. It's a good time to get some change going around, basically. Try to have like a new era, I guess, new chapter of everything. I am 30 now. I think that also signifies it. This will be how the 30s are going for me. But I'm a big fan of it. I have all my oh, here we go. All right, we're starting next chapter. We're on in 8, chapter 8. All right. Everything in my room position. More room to actually see my TV. More room for all my consoles. Everything going on there. Let's see. I've been enjoying this tune. Can you not watch live streams on YouTube mobile? There it goes. So it's been a lot of change and everything that's just been going on. I'm doing my best to, I mean, pace myself, but we got like so many new releases and it just doesn't slow down. I was mentioning like with tactics, it might be like a crunch put in on tactics. Though I mean, we're getting close to the end of the year too. That's another thing that makes me like anxious. But I mean, it would be just best to. I think if I had to get at least one more video in, I think it should be something more relevant. If I have to get one more video in for the year, I would want it to be more relevant title. And especially one I'm personally looking forward to as well. So that's the choice there. When I was working on Xenoblade, that's gonna be a... I mean, I already have like a good bit of it done, but that's a overwhelming project. And then it's not like Trails is also a large endeavor. And any other game I could really pick is gonna end up being a larger endeavor. So it's just, I feel like in best interest, and especially what people would like to see is tactics. At least that's what I've gathered so far. So that's what I'm gonna be hoping for with like the rest of the year. And see, do my best to get like back on my feet. I had a nice groove going on, right before like the last like week with Rita, and I think that was a good that served as like a good frame of reference for now as to what I should try to achieve. If I can get back to the workflow I had like temporarily going on there. But we'll just have to see. I'm still just doing my best to be hopeful. And again, it's really appreciate everyone's support. It's meant a lot to have so many people just be patient with me. Understandably, though, at least with some games like Xenoblade, there's really not much you can really do. It's just like that's not something that's like a quick job at all. So it's just going to be since that's not going to be something that's quick, it might as well take its time. Like if there's like a window of opportunity for each game, right? Those windows of opportunity have been passed. However, I do I would like to still have them covered. And still like games to personally play. Like now it's all like building into my backlog. And to tie it back to next chapter, we're on. Here we are in chapter 9. And there. A lot of gear will be, especially when you're farming for it, it's going to be, you end up with a lot of gear for selling for money. Though you get more than enough money to really start selling. I haven't shown it, but upgrading equipment costs the silver. We'll probably end up showing it off later because I do know I got some 4-star gear. And I think some of these characters still have 3-star gear on them. So I'm gonna have some better stuff to throw onto the units in a bit. And at least we have units falling now. That's something. When you get over prepared, you get to like continue at this pace. Oh man, I've been yapping a lot, huh? It might have noticed already, but when you max out the level of a character and then you raise their rank, their level resets back to 1. Their stats don't, so while everyone else is at max level, Kale here, who is re-leveling at rank 5, has been doing perfectly fine. And just collecting XP as he goes. Excuse me. Can I have some more? Do was I getting any, blue shards along the way? I feel like there was one I was getting from the story, or from the campaign. And we haven't been seeing it here, but when you first, because we're on a different difficulty, but on the normal difficulty, when you first go through this, you do have story in between chapters. But because I've already done all that, it hasn't shown up. None of those cutscenes have shown up. It's just been right into the fights. Let's clear out chapter 9, and then I will do the dungeon raids for a while. But yeah, I'm open to ideas if anyone is of interest of what I'll do tomorrow. I'm gonna be like, when does I don't know when Sonic unlocks. But yeah, we'll be for sure. I'm interested in showing Atelier. I think I'm gonna be doing Atelier no matter what, whether it's tomorrow or not. Is the thing. It's just right now at the moment I'm itching for some Sonic. All right, let's see. And we'll see it tomorrow too when I'm gonna be playing more Raid tomorrow. I'll probably, like, as soon as I'm like off stream, run through my multi-battles. Since I have like a lot of them saved up there. That's why I want to get to like the max level here, see where I can get. Then if I do, you know what I would do is I would get to chapter 12. I would get to chapter 12 in this hard difficulty, and then I would use that mission for 12-3 in hard difficulty to level up the units with my multi-battles. It looks like we may not get that far. Sonic's at 3 p.m. Eastern. That's a little disappointing, but that's fine. And hello, Floppy. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be, another thing is, also, this isn't the only stream I'm doing tonight. I'm gonna be playing, some Pokemon over on Go to Bedcast on Twitch tonight. I'm doing a Pokemon Crystal randomizer. So I'll be there as well. Didn't pull Amazon. I did not either. Did it next chapter. Right, next chapter? Right, next chapter. Let's oh, here we go. All right, we got 2 of those shards and some more silver and almost some gems. All right, well, we got some pulls here. And also more time collected things. These playtime rewards cycle through, and I think it's a really cool feature. Also, let me just claim my other stuff here while I'm at it. And again, time just gets like put into this game because it just it is something I can just keep up on the monitor. There, pull your level up, and we got a mine for diamonds over there. Upgrade an artifact. Oh, I need to show that off as well. Oh, nice. Cool. If I wanted to... Nice. And save that for later. For gear, then... Let's see here. So, let me filter this real quick. Just new. Actually, that'll work. I got new lifesteal stuff, it looks like. Wow, cool. Finally, some lifesteal stuff to complement the other lifesteal stuff. Oh, here's another cool thing about builds in this game. If you're curious about how you should build a character and what kind of gear they're best with, and something I noticed when you're going through the index of characters. Here, we were going to go through April's, right? I think she's on Sacred Order. And here in the bottom left is reviews. And you can see recommended types of gear that characters throw on these characters. And you can see just the number of ratings. I think this is valuable, and if you were to go in with less resources, I think it's cool to be able to cycle through and see who has the most reviews. It probably signifies that there's something really good about some of those characters. if they have that many more reviews compared to the others. As you go through and find them. As it's just showing you right then and there who's used more where. So you don't see anyone else that sticks out by this number, 400 there, 1400, yeah, look at that. And then you immediately get like these gear recommendations to go through if you were to spec them for that. For now, I haven't been worrying about that. Right, so gear just from Champions. If I want to take any of this new lifesteal stuff I got, filter it by, I wanted to see by rank. So I got all the new 5-star stuff here, and I can upgrade it. This is where you're spending silver on it. The higher level you go and the higher rank the gear is, the less chance it has of success with its level rank. So the higher you go, these first levels, it's going to be like a guaranteed success. And you just keep going from there, go up to 8 instantly, and then it just spends the appropriate amount of money to do so. And see the money get spent there. And that is important for keeping there, and then you're just going to want to, you know, judge it from there and what you properly invest in and what gear you invest in. But you do get quite a number of silver handed to you right away. I wouldn't be like too tight on it. You'll be fine. Hello, mercenary. If you're interested in any of the tactics info, it's all in the first hour of the stream. Let's keep going on Shredder. See if we can manage this one. I'll go through some of the other raids too, actually, since we definitely got a good look at what's going on with Shredder here. That's not terrible. Let's see here. So, what else has an event going on? The Fire Knight, the Minotaur Labyrinth. Oh, which is dropping the scrolls for Champion Masteries, which are individual to per character. So as soon as when you get them, they're particular to a character, so you're good to like spend them when you actually get them. They're not so much as something you end up conserving in the same way. At this rate, we're gonna be fine. Yeah, nice buff. The yellow bar is the ATB bar. It's just instantly going turn to turn once it fills. So yeah, the scrolls are, we got 7 specifically for Kale. So they're free to just use only on him, so I can use those right away. Not the tavern, right? You can go to tavern from here. Upgrade skills. No. I do have more books, actually. I didn't have these earlier, so that's cool. The books are more rare. Like, right now, I wish I had preserved these more. When you get the books, those I do wish I had, like, preserved at the moment. I need to... I need these potions. Can I mix them from here? Not enough. How do I get those clear ones? Let me get those clear ones first. Right, if I'm actually unsure on those because I've already had so many of them. No, not PvP. Yeah, here we go. Well, I might as well just run through a lot of these. Since these are so low level, I haven't done them in a while. I haven't needed to. The game gained so many resources. This is the first time I'm actually just grabbing some of these ones. Shouldn't take long at all. But these clear ones, yeah, everyone utilizes them. That's why they pack you so full of them right out the gate. Nice, nice. Hardly a scratch on anyone. Oh, you know what else we had from, what is it? Anyone in Street Fighter fans, Z Viper looks crazy. I didn't think I'd give her a shot. I think I will. I'm not for technical characters. However, I have to admire keeping her technical. I wonder what Phil's gonna do. I was gonna say Phil I think should just play modern for her. Straight up. It depends what he wants, but I would just say I mean I think there's gonna be a barrier no matter what. Okay, that should be enough there. How many did I need? I may worry about this tomorrow. Oh, okay, that helped actually too. Good luck from that. Well, I know he was a Viper fan. Let's save these 2 shards for tomorrow. Actually, also, let me just fill up with champions now. They may disappear, but this is what it's like when you do the 10 roll, right? Going through for all these characters. So now my repertoire is full. There we go. I got sidetracked. What was I doing? The potions. What was it? The potions for? For Kale to ascend. Oh no, I'm still gonna need to make 2 more. Let's call it there for now. Since I'll be back with this tomorrow to do more of it. I want to say thanks everyone for tuning in for this stream. Again, I'm going to be live tomorrow as well with some more raid and at the moment Atelier. We'll see if I decide to do Sonic, but I think Atelier would be the better thing to show off and delve a little more into. But we'll see what I'm up for. So I'm gonna be live on Go to Bedcast over on Twitch at 10 o'clock in like an hour and a half from now with Pokemon Crystal rando and continuing that. So I'm gonna be doing a little more tonight, and at the moment I believe that's everything. We're also doing Sonic on Go to Bedcast on Friday, but that's for later. for right now, let's see. Anything going on with the clan? Just check in. We had a random person join the other day. But yeah, if anyone else wants to join the clan in raid G2BC, and we'll go from there. Anything on events, or is this just wants me to give it a check? Oh, I actually am close to some milestones here. Man, if I can get some chickens, that would be nice. There's some chickens there if I kept going. Oh, right, new day started, huh? Get my new player rewards and everything. Claim all that. Yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm gonna be live again tomorrow, and as I said, Final Fantasy Tactics will have like an actual stream for the Ivalice Chronicles when it releases. That will happen. And then as well, that will be the stream where I have like them compared next to each other, and then an actual edited video will also still happen. And hopefully that edited video is sooner rather than later. But yeah, that's about everything. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I heavily appreciate everyone's support, everyone checking out Raid with me. I'm looking forward to checking it out more tomorrow. Again, if you are at all interested in Raid Shadow Legends, now would be a good time to get into it, especially if you're into the Ninja Turtles. Great time for that, and something to work towards as well. But yeah, we have more to look at tomorrow, and more prep I get to do on the side, just with the game on the monitor. But yeah, so I'm gonna rest my voice for the next hour before I'm live again. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in, and I will see you all tomorrow. Until then, once again, thank you all for the continued support, and bye for now.